This isn't political at all in nature, so gonna be adding to the channel. Be a lot more, so there may be new type of people involved. I'm going to be most well. We'll see. We'll see where it goes from here. But there's things happening in space. Started another channel, but without the money, it's really difficult when you got political adversaries. So this is adding to the channel. Space. This is the moon, obviously. The phases of the moon. But there's a lot happening. Like I said, Artemis. There's been a lot of chatter in the last couple days from scientists, and I don't know what the heck they're talking about. But there's a lot of back and forth when it's been quiet. I think I suspect it has something to do with Trump. I think about it. At first, I was right into like, what the heck did they find? I don't know. Maybe there was a discovery and they were this and that, or maybe it's Trump. The more that I thought about it, I'm like, well, maybe Trump has he's got something he's working on, or there's maybe something coming. Because hey, he made space for us. Remember, Trump invented the newest extension to the military in I think it was 100 years, over 100 years. So it's there's something maybe in the works. Space Force may be expanded. Artemis program is coming up. Now Artemis is the basically the plan. First of all, they already did a little bit. Now I'm just going off the top of my head, and I kind of it's been about a year since or 2 years or maybe even three that I really looked into this. So my memory will be a little bit foggy. But just to give a quick quip, they just basically they tested going around the moon, put something down on the moon. Eventually, they're going to land on the moon and make a base. That's the plan. There's going to be a base on the moon, permanent base, just like now we have the International Space Station. And what I seen, this is what I'm teasing out is that the ISS, the International Space Station, is basically it's old. It's not cutting edge technology that the government needs to hide so much. There's like companies like Elon Musk and stuff like that has stuff that they're coming close, but they aren't there. Like whether you think Elon's the cutting his thing, no, he's just really good at doing certain things. Just like China was better at making things cheaper and faster. Well, he did basically that with rockets and things that NASA couldn't do. But there's very heavily advanced things that they well beyond SpaceX. Though they figured out how to make rockets cheaper and reusable, right? And that's basically what that has created is now commercial entities in Space Force. NASA has things that they do that they ain't cheap and they ain't easy, but no one can do it. No one, right? There's the CSA, Canadian Space Agency, the European Space Agency, but when you're talking about, so what I see is having an ISS is happening is basically whether it comes to true or not, we'll see. That'll be taken over by basically commercial companies. Will buy into it. They'll be able to do their research. A lot of different research can be done in space. There's all kinds of reasons for it, but it's because of the environment and all this stuff like that. They can do it's you learn a lot more doing a lot of research in space than you would on Earth, gravity, all these effects that make it more difficult to do certain things. So I see basically the trusted, of course, American companies, Lockheed Martin kind of companies, obviously SpaceX. I know Raytheon, all these like companies will be basically, I believe, is going to take over and purchase, like take over by purchase through purchase. I'll put my camera up in a second. Put up. all of this extra money. And while they do that, NASA and those companies, these the government and the heavy stuff is going to take over the moon and the shape, way, or form, and they're going to expand to the next level, and then maybe Mars. There's been no announcements by Trump, so that's what it looks like. Right now, the big news that I think is the big news is what's going on is this X-59. I see like there's people jumping in and out. Fuck, I see, whatever. It's I'll do a slideshow. That'll be cool. Um, yeah, looks it. Okay, image files. All right, that's actually pretty cool. I think we can. So this is the X-59, Lockheed Martin. All right, I think we can do this. It's very, very big. Okay, so the X-59 is. Remember how a lot of people used to say, "Oh yeah, we used to break the sound barrier all the time." You used to be able to hear it, and people that lived in Toronto and stuff like that, in New York. Well, there isn't really any anymore. This is a huge, huge picture here. And now you can't. Like, come on. Like, why did it have to be so huge? All right. So this is the X-59 flyer jet. It is. It's unbelievably fast. Uh, it's a bit about what's going on with it. Um, I can put that up here in a second. Here, I'll just pause this. I got to open up the other part, but this. I gotta give a little bit of background of this thing. Come on, enter. Two-man enter. There's a lot of snowflaking. Okay, so the tail of it. Okay, so it passed a milestone. Okay, so here's a quick thing about it. The first milestone it passed is that it's quiet supersonic technology. Okay, the QSST aircraft, whatever, is it? The QSST, QST, aircraft, while overcoming challenges presented by the global pandemic. Okay, so it planned to fly and it did. It's all basically okay. So the integrated NASA and Lockheed Martin X-59 team is doing an amazing job given the challenging circumstances. Okay, so it's low boom flight demonstrator project managed by Craig Nicole. Okay, so it's basically saying they're so excited about it, and these are the challenges. An older media report, so that's just there we go. Here's a new one. With great precision and accuracy, the team used features, and I'm going through this open source stuff from NASA with you right now. Okay, so we're kind of learning it through together. Not this is all open source. This is nothing secret. But we're gleaning as much as we can out of as much as I can out of it through the open source because they always let stuff out. The problem with like going supersonic is it's so damn loud. And it's not just the birds that we need to worry about. Like it's just literally it would affect all kinds of other things. But the animals and stuff. It just was very harmful in many ways. So this new idea here is like, how do we get people flying really fast? We go to New York for lunch, or London for lunch from New York. It's the basically thing. So the aircraft's fuselage contains a cockpit that helps define the shape of its X-59. It's 38 foot long nose. But this has all changed. You can see the pictures of it now. Yeah, this is there's robots that were assembling this thing. The tail end assembly is contains the engine compartment. So it's heat resistant materials. GE F414 engine. The engine is the upper section of the X-59, similar to the XVS. It is one of many purposeful design projects that ensure the aircraft is desired to produce quieter noise to the people below. Okay, so there's like some of the you can see, like I said, the pictures of it, and I got to get something really recent as we can. All right, so it's out of Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works facility, where this is where all this stuff is like. This is the open source place where a lot of like the really cutting edge stuff is made. There's probably other bases that have more thing, but this is something that will transcend down to commercial companies, right? So QSST is NASA's mission to demonstrate how the X-59 can fly supersonic without generating loud sonic booms, and then survey what people hear when it flies overhead. Reaction to a quieter sonic thumps will be shared with regulators who will then consider writing new sound-based rules to lift the ban on faster than sound flight over land. Okay, so this is like will change. Um, Remember, the Chinese have these missiles that are going this fast and all that, but this is basically the newest. And it's been passing all these milestones. There's all kinds of new information coming about this, and drones. Think supersonic drones and stuff like that is well on its way. All right. Oh, here we go. Got something from the last month. Okay. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Oh wow. This is it's So NASA's Quiet Supersonic Technology Demonstrator lit up the single engine in January 22nd to test its afterburner at maximum power. I'm going to here. I'll give you the picture of it. I'll give you two pictures. Oh my God! Oh wow! So a close here. I'll give you a close view of it, and then what a unbelievably fast thing. NASA's really coming back. I don't know. Well, we all know that Trump put a lot of money into the Space Force and into space. It's a big deal. It's basically kind of like the new space race. They call the last thing this AI the Sputnik moment. Well, this is more. I think of it as when commercial companies are going to be able to handle things that NASA did only before. NASA's passing it down to obviously American companies. So American companies ruling the skies because they'll be able to make a quiet sonic boom. Well, basically, you know what I mean. Who's going to want to fly on a flight that takes you 12 hours to go to Dubai when you can get there in an hour, right? You're going to be like, yeah, whatever. I'll take the hour flight. Thank you very much. So it's a game changer. It's the only way you can say it is a game changer. Okay, so here's some things that I thought it was paused. Why it wasn't? All of the missions on the moon and the labeling of the map of the moon is something we'll be putting up after this. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Chat if you like. All right, I'm going to put another image slideshow for y'all. Righty then. We are definitely slideshow. No, just a slideshow. This is the test that was just done, a couple weeks ago now, 2 weeks, and it passed everything. It's been passing all the tests. It's don't no close-ups, and there's the conspiracy theorist, the flat earther, and all this stuff. This is like I'm not going to cover any of that conspiracy stuff. I basically is take NASA as a commercial. They're doing the testing that'll come down to the regular folk. This is the test. All right. And as you can see, that's the X-59. There's the test that they did. What a beautiful flame. And you can see how, see the wavelengths in that? You can see the wavelength with diamond in that. And that's like superheated, unbelievable amount of heat that's going on in there. And very complicated, you just think flames are simple. No, not in this case. And like I said, it passed. Okay, that's the moon phase. It's definitely, not now. No, we're not going to X. There's definitely a lot coming on with the moon. Okay, the moon and all of these other so the Lockheed Martin come together to build the X-59, decades-long project to achieve quiet, supersonic, and revolutionize commercial aircraft. That's the big. It's like, I'm serious. This is a big game changer. We're going to start seeing actual supersonic flights again. Right? Remember, was that before we used to have this? And we have some more other information that's coming up. And they're you know what I mean? This is going to be going to American companies. All right, the last month. The last month we've had a lot happening, and I haven't been able to bring any of it up. So it fires up the engine for maximum afterburner testing. As you can see, it competes with the Sunset for best light show and its unique Mach. See the Mach diamonds in it, MACH, Mach diamonds, as shown as shock diamonds. There's shock diamonds in this. Also, they're also known as shock diamonds during maximum afterburner testing at the Lockheed Martin Skunk Works. It's in Palmdale, California, by the way. And the testing demonstrated the engine's ability to generate the thrust required for supersonic flight, advancing NASA's Quest, QUESST, Quest, Callista mission. Lockheed Martin, Gary Tice. These are from photos of it. Unbelievable engine power. It's like, so you can see the diamonds, right? You're like, this is not something, and that's all I have on that file. Now this other one here. Okay, so it completed its first maximum afterburner test on its X-59 quiet supersonic research aircraft on December 12th. It did its first one, and then the second one was on the 22nd. The ground test conducted by Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works facility in Palmdale, California, marks a significant milestone in the X-59 team progresses. As the X-59 team progresses towards flight. An afterburner is a component of some jet engines that generate additional thrust running the engine, and it's an F414 GE100 with afterburner that will allow the X-59 to meet its supersonic speed requirement. The test demonstrated the engine's ability to operate within temperature limits and with adequate airflow for flight. It also showed the engine's ability to operate in sync with aircraft's other subsystems. So you know what I mean. There's a lot of things going on in this. It's not just an engine and a cockpit. There's a few other testing and everything that's going on. The X-59 is a centerpiece of NASA's Quest mission, which seeks to solve one of the major barriers to supersonic flight over land by making sonic booms quieter. I know I keep saying. Um, and it's going to happen. The next flight is going to happen this year. We're going to have it. So they basically did the testing, and it's passed everything. So NASA's Quest mission will demonstrate how the X-59 can fly supersonic without generating low sonic booms. We can do. I can do that sound, and right? We've all heard it. It's been in all these movies. And the survey what people hear when they fly overhead. So they're going to be doing that. And who knows what was happening in New Jersey when it flies overhead. Reaction to the quieter sonic thumps will be shared with national and international regulators who will then consider writing new sound-based rules to lift the long-standing ban on faster-than-sound commercial flight over land. Like, of course, the military's always been doing it. And if you ever been on like a forward operating base, like a base overseas, you hear it all the time. It's like an air show every day. Well, it was. I don't know. I don't think much is going on with the air currently. So its mission duration is the first flight is going to be this year. When? Wait out. We'll find out shortly. I'll be on this. I'll let you know. And the mission's duration is going to go till 2029. So it's basically through Trump's term, right? So this is like going to be that. And then after that, we're going to see within probably a decade, it's going to be back. We're going to be able to fly very, very fast and to anywhere in the world. So it'll be, it'll be back, basically flying around the world at a really rapid speed. And then the other old style flights will of course come down in price because obviously of it. So we can learn more about it. Now, like I said, I'm only going on the open source stuff. I'm not going into the weeds or anything like that. This is just what we can get on the surface because this is obviously it's a secret wrapped up in elastic bands and tripwire, right? So concertina wire, if you know what that is. It's just something that obviously that they have to keep close to the chest because this is the new space race. But the big moment, all right, the big moment here. NASA's X-59 quiet supersonic research aircraft is unveiled. With a dramatic curtain drop, NASA's and Lockheed Martin's publicly unveiled the X-59's quiet supersonic research aircraft. Here, as you can see the pictures, right? I'll put the other slideshow on also in the corner here. What a beautiful aircraft. Hiya! Gwen. Yeah, you're going to chop me? It's a beautiful set since it's sunset. So you can see, look at how it, if you can't tell, it kind of changes color. These are all the same plane, these pictures. So this is it. It's kind of like a beautiful silver. But at sunset, and then the one picture, come on up. Come on. And look at it there. It looks like, what the heck, right? That thing is beautiful. So I have a feeling it is not going to be very visible. This one isn't very visible. Like, look at that. Look at that thing. That's looks blue. It looks like the Blue Angels. If you remember, anyone remembers the Blue Angels, they were this type of aircraft that was out there. Image slideshow. Come on. No, not that one. This one. There we go. Put it up top here so you can still see the diamonds. You can see there's 1, 2. Okay, wait. One diamond, 2 diamond, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 diamonds. 11 diamonds, and each one of those is basically a speed. I'm not going to go into what is an open source. So real big news. Okay, so it formally debuted the agency's X-59 Quiet Stop on the Friday of the Margaret. How you doing, Margaret? Okay, so I don't need to say that or that. NASA aims to gather the data that would revolutionize air travel, paving the way again. This quote, this is a major accomplishment made possible only through hard work and ingenuity from NASA and the entire X-59 team, said NASA Deputy Administrator Pam Melroy. In just a few short years, we've gone from the ambitious concept to reality. NASA's X-59 will help change the way we travel, bringing us closer together in much less time. So, you know how Boeing has been getting bad flack lately? Well, forgot about it. Boeing's gonna be obviously one of the major beneficiaries of this. American companies, maybe Bombardier. I hope Canada Bombardier will be involved. Will get this technology so we can build them also these supersonic planes in there. Obviously, the Chinese market is going to take up the old style of flight, which uses tons of fuel and doesn't go very fast. This is actually, it's going to be more fuel efficient, if you believe it or not. More fuel efficient. And this is already, and they're in a test phase. So it's everything about it is better, right? Faster, better, quieter. And that was a big problem before, was the noise, if anyone recalls it. So Melroy and other senior officials revealed the aircraft during a ceremony hosted by prime contractor Lockheed Martin Skunk Works at its Palmdale facility. Okay, the X-59 is the center of the Quest mission, which focuses on providing data to help regulators consider the rules that prohibit commercial supersonic flight over land. For over 50 years, the U.S. and other nations have prohibited such flights because of the disturbances caused by the loud, startling sonic booms on the communities below. And as I'm going to say this again, if anyone is aware, it is a big, it's jarring is the only word. Holy, what the, you know? And every single time, because of it comes with a boof, an oomph, oompa oompa. It has it resonates within your chest kind of thing. It'll always scare the animals. And us included, people, right? It'll always, holy, you know? It's not necessarily disastrous or anything like that, but it very intrusive, right? It's, quote, it's thrilling to consider the level of ambition behind Quest, and its potential benefits, said Bob Pierce, Associate Administrator for Aeronautics Research at NASA headquarters in Washington. Continuing the quote, NASA will share the data and technology we generate from this one-of-a-kind mission with regulators and with industry. By demonstrating the possibility of quiet commercial supersonic travel over land, we seek to open new commercial markets for U.S. companies and benefit travelers around the world. So it's like, welcome to the new dawn. This is what I'm telling you. People are like, well, what's happening with Trump is going to do. He's bringing Biden, like him or not, spend a ton of money. And there's new chips coming, and open source information. So, like, I will only just say new chips, new chip factories, lots of money, and these new chips are going to be revolutionary. Now, what's going to happen is what do we do with the chips? Well, first thing they're going to do with them, as you can see right here, is we're going to get supersonic travel, and that needs these Detroit Rust Belt to open up their factories. So all these factories are going to be opening up to make the new products of tomorrow, and they're going to be done mostly in America. And then what most likely, 99% sure will happen, is they will have such a demand, it'll be like a giant vacuum sound. Will be asking for everything from their partners, and Canada will be one of those major partners, EU as well, but Canada especially, because we're close and we're considered. Obviously, right now, after the border question has been looked at, they said, okay, stop your criminals from doing whatever they're doing to the people, your fentanyl crap, fix the border. I don't want that crap, because these security, and then the next part is going to be northern, there's going to be more security, NORAD, and all these other things, right? the balloons and all that stuff has to be ceased and desisted, and Canada has to be a willing partner, and so does Mexico, right? If they want to supply the stuff of the future, because we can't let this technology leak out like we did the last time. Nortel is the perfect example. Huawei cell phones is built off of, they destroyed a Canadian company, Nortel, and bought their patents after they destroyed it. So basically, we have to up our security because their corporate espionage is, I don't want to say second to none, but it's second to none right now. So we have to up our security so we can protect our companies while these chips of the future, because these chips are going to be, they're already locked and sealed. They're not getting into these red, whatever these colored chips are, into these new chips. That security is fine, but these chips are going to be going to all these other factories, and they'll have to have diagrams and all these other things like that. So the security has to be basically, like he's saying, it's going to be in America first, add us your stuff, and then trusted countries. And right now, Mexico and Canada are not 100% trusted, right? Because of the corporate espionage, right? Corporate espionage, not because of what we do. It's that we don't have enough security to stop what they do. And it's not, it's economic. It's not kinetic stuff, or it's with this stuff. If this were to get out again, we can't have our supersonic planes copied and pasted and made in 2 years after 20 years of research and over in whatever have you country, right? So this is where it starts. Okay, this is kind of what's signaling, and there's all kinds of other stuff that goes on with like us at the ground grunts like to the fight about, oh, it's the tariff. Well, it's the security, and that's why we're going to see more security issues happening. They're going to be brought to the forefront. RCMP is showing us, oh, look what we can do on the border. Look at our good at security. And you test out on people who are doing illegal things. Obviously, if you're crossing a border at not a proper border point, you are now going to be susceptible to a type of visual, to stuff that may not be that great on you, right? May not be the healthiest, what have you. And all kinds of imaging, sensing, and all this stuff, they're going to be testing it there. And obviously what's happening we know what's happening. A lot of testing is going on in that one troubled zone. We know what I'm talking about. I don't want to mention the name of the country. Across both teams, talented, dedicated, and passionate scientists, engineers, and production artisans have collaborated, developed, and produced this aircraft, said John Clark, Vice President of General Manager at Lockheed Martin Skunk Works. Continues on, we're honored to be part of this journey to shape the future of supersonic travel over land alongside NASA and its partners. I would really like to stop covering politics right now and go into this. It matters about how well and successful it does, and how many people are on it, on this part, as politics are about to turn into security. Everything is going to be fraught with security. The culture wars are done, basically, and we won. Who's we? If you're a citizen, we won. They're going to subside. Cancel culture is not a good thing, we've realized. And the new stuff is going to be about this. So this is the signal, light switch on. It's moving into a new age of, we're going to talk about all the cool things that are happening, and the real background security of it. Politics I believe, is going to get in the back burner again, and it's going to be about the science. So I hope I don't have to. I'm not going to deal with this, because I'm not very well. Hey, I can't get interviews, right? Well, that's a little bit of a stretch. I can get them. I'm not working hard enough on it. So I may not, right? Maybe not. But definitely this is going to be going here. Is there any comments? Hi, Gwen. Hi, Much Joy, Ontario. There are many demons posing as humans. Well, you think I'm a demon? I just read what you said. There are, demons posing as human. Oh, well, we don't know about that. There's something going on in the moon, though, guys. There is stuff going on. Like, get your spidey senses up. When I tell you, I had my spidey senses up, what they were gonna do to us with the pandemic, I started this channel. The spidey sense I have, which is obviously I have no powers. I am just a human, right? I'm just, what did she call me? Swine. I'm just a swine. I don't know anything. But I was right about the last. There's something happened, and this I think we got something coming up, and it's coming and it's in space, and the chips in space and technology and happy things to me, not so sad. Maybe some scary things though. Definitely some scary things. Um, I like your, what is this? Ronald McDonald and the Joker. I like your much joy. I like your picture. It's very it's nice. It's cool. It made me laugh. Thank you for making me laugh today. I'll put my picture. I'll do my camera. Oh, that means I gotta like dig it out. Gotta get back to running. I must have gained 15 pounds in 2.5 months since the snow. That is unbelievable, isn't that? I still work out every day, but geez, this winter wasn't good to me. Do my rowing and stuff like that. I'm stronger than I was when I was 20, but geez, man. So the skunk works. And like I said, this is going to be the first thing that's going to be happening in America first, right? America first, which is really cool. It's like I'm picturing, and I hope that someone does this. These companies do it. Remember those 1950 commercials with like that news announcer guy, and they're like, look at this new space saving time for the wife. A washing machine, because remember they literally used a washing board, and they're like, it's a washing machine and it spins the clothes, saving you more time. And we have a slicer, like these things that like now are like everyone has in their kitchen. It's called a mandolin, you know. Um, but I hope that we're gonna see those wonderful type of commercials like that, cheesy kind of thing. But for all kinds of other stuff, like get your space saved flight, um, flight suit for when you go to the moon on Tuesdays. Flights only on Tuesday for commercial aircraft. That's most likely it's going to come. It's just, will they be the cheesy, awesome 50s commercials? I hope so. I'm praying for the 50s commercial. The cheesy ones. All right. I'm gonna put up the moon while I do this. Here, I'll put some moon shots for you while I do this for you here. Thanks for watching. Wow, moon phase. All right. Yeah, it's the moon. Come on. Why is it like that? Oh, well, that's why it was like that. Hmm. Get that slideshow out. Yeah, so I'm just getting the camera and this stupid crap up for you. Hmm. It's a wonderful thing. There we go. There we go. Yeah. So that's the moon, and these are all where the landings happened and all that. You can put all your, conspiracy theories in the comments. Comments are wide open. I personally, it's not what this channel is about. It's about the open source information, and comments are open. All right. Come on. There we go. Good. Okay, where's my coffee cup? Where's my coffee? Going back to just straight black coffee. So, all right. Yeah. Do I gotta should brush it? All right. So here we have the moon. The moon is there's a lot happening, guys. Like you can see, look at all the places in the moon, like unbelievable amount. To give you a quick, I guess, because you probably are political things. Things I want it done. Um, Pornhub, they've been smashed down, and they're going to go down even further. Fentanyl. The SAR is coming on Monday. Trudeau is no longer prime minister. Cannabis is legalized. We need to do more military spending. We need to put a lot of money in, which I don't say is necessarily military. It should be the CSA, the Canadian Space Agency. We should get a large boost. Whether that is considered NATO spending or not, I'm not sure. NORAD, the Arctic. I've been saying for years we need to build in the Arctic. First of all, the Arctic is beautiful. A little bit of selfishness here. I'd love to have like big cities up there, you know. Bases and lots of work would be great for like everybody, especially those that have been called the deplorables and put out in tents. It's disgusting. I think the eugenics idea, it makes me sick. That is no longer the case. So it's about space. The original name of the channel, Space Cafe. We have an election in Ontario. I don't really cover that because I'm not accredited in Ontario as an accredited agency. I don't even think I have to be honest. But you can get away with it. But I'm not the type to do things to just because I can get away with. I make sure. So the clown Joker. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Ronald McDonald. The moon. So, yeah. Working out all the time. You know, it makes you sore all the time. Yeah. So this is where we're at here. I can't have this image up while I do this other talk, so I could do it with my other computer. I'm going to do my other computer, which I have some paperwork. I found some stuff, people. I cannot say because first of all, it's not open source, and it's nothing for. I have nothing for sure. Nothing, you know what I mean? Just someone with a lot of free time and doing some research and stuff. Stuff is on the rough. We have NASA Plus, though. I know everyone's all about the fake moon launch and all that stuff. That's like the big thing everyone wants to talk about right now, and think, okay, everything NASA is fake. Well, hooey to you. There's a lot going on. Okay, there's real things going on. It's not all a big psyop. Okay, so there's this one person who commented on my thing and had a video of a green screen in space. They don't need to do green screens for someone floating in space. They have like places and rooms and stuff like that zero gravity rooms that you can just do them in. And what happens is with the footage, a lot of our stuff is good, goes through space pretty good, but it hits things. We don't necessarily even know what it's hitting, but the signals, they're not. We don't have it 100%, and they're going for quite a distance. So um, there's glitches in video footage. It just happens. There's glitches in mine. If I start moving really, really, really fast, my full speed, it'll look really weird. For you, it'll be glitchy because the camera can't, it doesn't have the rate of my speed, and I'm not the fastest individual. I just noticed that from when I first started doing the stream. Yeah, I'm talking about the X-59. So the X-59, thank you, Chill Canuck. I really enjoy the commenters who bring me back to what I do because I digress. It's my biggest. I could talk for hours straight because I digress. I'll digress to another and another and another, and then I usually come back, but it's like 20 minutes later, and like, oh yeah. So I digress and on to digress. The X-59, it's a Lockheed Martin quest that's been going on. And basically what it is they're saying, I'll put the picture up right now. I'm going to pause this one for you for a second. Pause the moon. And here, I'll give you the slideshow because it looks like you're new to this stream. So this is it. This is this beautiful plane. And you can see this is the same plane, okay? It's just under different lighting conditions. As you can see, it's like, okay, that's this color. This thing is like unbelievable, all right? It excites me so. This is what is coming. Now we have like the Raptor that goes straight up and down. Yeah, that's pretty cool. This thing goes supersonic, and I'll put up the other slideshow of it. Yeah, look at it. And see, that's it. That's another. It looks white there. It looks silver there, and then it looks blue there. Well, next one. Hurry up. Come on. Chop, 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 suey. And then blue there. There is the diamonds. It's burning. It's burning my eyes. It's so hot. Yeah, thank you. A little bit higher. As you can see, these diamonds in it. That's an actual phenomena, and it's created. And there's 11 of them, as you can see, in this. This was the test run of the X-59 just done a couple weeks ago, passed with flying diamonds. I just read it too, that the diamonds. Oh, actually, I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'll just right here. At 900.7 feet long, 99.7 feet long, and 29.5 feet wide, the aircraft's shape and technological advancement it houses will make it quiet, supersonic flight possible. The X-59's thin, tapered nose accounts for almost a third of its length and will break up the shock waves that would ordinarily result in a supersonic aircraft causing, a sonic boom. That would ordinarily result in a supersonic aircraft causing a sonic boom. Now, maybe I can find a sonic boom sound and I can play it for you for fun, for and giggles. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Here, 14 seconds. If you're in the military, you've heard this before many times.
Sound travels at about 760 miles per hour.
So sound travels at 760 miles an hour. This is faster, so it hurts.
Or 340 meters per second. That's
all right. So that's just so what the sonic boom. This is still working on. That's the sound. We all know this sound from watching TV, right? So it's the nose. It's all in the nose. So I hurt my nose. Due to its configuration, the cockpit is located almost halfway down the length of the aircraft, and it does not have a forward-facing window. Instead, the Quest team developed the external vision system, a series of high-resolution cameras feeding the 4K monitor in the cockpit. So it's different. It's different in every way. The Quest team also designed the aircraft with its engine mount on top and gave it a smooth underside, which helps keep shock waves from merging behind the aircraft and causing a sonic boom. So if you know it does this thing in this, then it makes a boom behind it, you know. So in front and behind. So this is basically kind of making an opening per se, and this is as lamest terms as I can make it, kind of like an opening, so it's traveling past through sound without hurting the sound, but it's not the plane. It's just the way that around it. I know that's not the best explanation, but that's kind of how it is. It's almost like a bubble. It's creating its own similar type of bubble on the bottom and the top of it. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. Okay. And this is like it's all the public. There's the ceremony happened. All kinds of people. I can show you some of the pictures. Or maybe not. I won't. It's very odd. Maybe they don't want me to show you this stuff. There we go. So this is the manufacturing and the skunk works in there of the assembly of it. Like, you know, this isn't the cutting. It's really a plane that's testing out supersonic for commercial flight. This supersonic flight is going to be able to be commercially available. So Boeing, this is about bringing America first again in the world. All the planes, all the new planes that everyone's going to want to buy, every single country with money, UAE, you know, Air Emirates, if anyone knows what Air Emirates is, it's such a great place to fly with. KLM, all the big countries think they'll want to buy one of their planes. These new planes that will be coming out, and our travel will get a lot faster again. We'll be able to go, you know, an hour flight from New York to London is going to happen again. It's going to be thing without the sonic booms that affects the environment, the people, the animals, and everything else, and whatever else it damages. We probably don't know the unseen world. We don't know what we're harming. So all of these things it's basically making it. We've already know how to do it. We've already been able to go supersonic, but we don't know how to do it without disturbing it, without the boom and without making everything aware that we're going supersonic. That's the problem. And this is basically making it quiet. So then it'll be used, because there's been 50 years moratorium on. No country in the world is allowing it in commercial flights. Military flights, yeah, well, you know, tell them what to do. Just not going to happen. Who knows? So that is basically how that is going to work, right? That's really what it is. This is open stuff, open source stuff. This isn't like secret cutting edge. I'm trying to give you a wink and a nudge, and no, this is just cool stuff that's coming to commercials, coming to the average person. The average person who's working construction is going to be able to get on a flight and fly, you know, and all the other types of planes, the old school planes, drop in price. They're going to make air travel, a thing again. 10 years time, and it's going to be built in America, obviously. The chips and all of these things that are required. That you know, and a lot of people are unaware of this. There's a lot of there is 3% of the world's minerals and all this like rare earth and stuff like that. It's taken out of California, right? In California, there's like there's a mine there, but it's going to high end stuff, the military, government military, right? And it's all in California. They can't produce enough, or they could, but they'd have to do such a destruction of in California, which you can't. It's too beautiful in the environmental laws that it's only happening. That's only happening for that very 3%, right? And so that's what's going on there. But the rest of the world can get these technologies once we start getting it. So it's Canada, our Canada opens up all of these, mines and everything like that, so we can mass produce all the things we need. There's 51 identified minerals in the critical mineral plan, and they're basically that's it, right? And so all these chips are coming, and they're going to be able to make planes easily because the chips are so smart, right? They don't need to have only a small percentage of it. They're going to come from everyone. Once these American factories are producing these chips, and they don't know 100% what they're going to do with all these chips, but they know of certain things from the military will come down to commercial. So it is going to be a golden age, and he's not joking. Hopefully, I hope it happens while Trump's still in, but most likely, a lot of them will happen, unfortunately for him, after he gets out 5 years, because it takes so long. So he's got to really push on getting these people working and building these factories fast and not dragging their feet. Oh, we need a pipeline maybe. No, we need it now because the fuel of the future is hydrogen. And that's already could be built today. But first we need to, anyway, I'm digressing. So this is most likely going to happen of commercial age for the average worker, or the average person is going to be like in awe, and the kids are going to be like, yeah, this is great. All these new technologies and new things are coming out. This is going to be a big game changer. And this is one example of that the chips are going to be able to fuel the modern engine in a cheap enough way made in America. And then they'll be demanding for the resources to do it. And that's what basically he wants. It's security reasons why it has to be built in America, and the supply chains can't go through Asia where they have low security or no security, or literally the government agents working on the board. Yeah, supersonic is. This is what this is new, right? This is actually new. They have supersonic that isn't efficient. You're right, but this new engine, which I will show you right here. That's the plane, but as you can see, the slideshow. See these diamonds? That's not on the planes we have now. You can see like really close, and they're like literal diamonds in there. That's new technology, new engine. Yes, old engine, but there's something going on in there that's beyond. And I'm gonna try to get this so I don't have to look to the side. And it's way more efficient. It's everything about it is better. Maximum afterburner. Okay, so they call them emits bright flames with visible shock diamonds. These are shock diamonds, and like this is for real stuff. And you can see how the nice tapering of them, of these diamonds, is also helping to make. I don't know how to explain it very well. I will very shortly. I'm just coming back into it, but it's creating kind of a bubble for this plane to fly through, so it's not making the sound. It's not making everything aware that we're flying around at hypersonic speed. So it's for commercial reasons. It's great. That's the 50-year moratorium on them, and then plus the other one is that the military is also going to have other. Like spycraft and stuff like that that no one is coming close to. So this is what this is all really about, and the high efficiency of it. There's other engines they're working on. That's I don't even know if that. I don't think it's open source. So, but this is open source stuff. This is like they're announcing it. It's coming. It'll come to a jet near you. Within 10 years, I imagine you may be on a flight, and if Trump has his way, and America finally has their way, they will be building these things very quickly. Um, there's a 3D printing plant that does jets in Australia, and they may be a part of it too. Like at least the technology maybe will most likely be have to ship to America, but they're going to be able to print these engines, metal 3D printing. So it's definitely it's on the way. It's this open source stuff on the way. No conspiracy needed. It's wonderful stuff and highly efficient with these. It's maximum afterburner. Okay, here I'll read this one again for you. So NASA just completed December 12th was the first, and then the 22nd was the 2nd of January. December 12th, January 22nd. See the numbers, right? If you follow numerology, you hear what I'm saying. NASA completed the first maximum afterburner engine run test on its X-59 quiet supersonic research aircraft. The ground test, as you can see here, conducted at Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works facility in Palmdale, California, marks a significant milestone as the X-59 team progressed towards flight. Now, as you see in the pictures of this thing, will this thing be able to hold together very well? Will the noise and all that? That's the next part of it. That they're going to be 2025 is going to be when that comes out. Okay. Oh, it says all this thing. So the afterburner is a component of some jet engines that generates additional thrust. Running the engine, it's an F414 GE100 with afterburner will allow X-59 to meet its supersonic speed requirements. The test demonstrated the engine's ability to operate within temperature limits, 12, 24, and the adequate airflow. It also showed the engine's ability to operate in sync with the aircraft's other subsystems. The chips that I'm talking about. These chips are going to be made in America, mass produced for everyone who's American. American companies are going to have access to this. And what is hard data crunching is this. This is one of the hard data crunching these chips are going to be needed for, and they're going to be made in America, and they're not going to be sold to anyone else. Like, if you're not within the tight fold of America, that's why Japan is investing so heavily in America with the steel, U.S. steel and all that, because they know they're going to build it there, right? Japan's actually, when it comes to technology, they're always on it, right? And they seem to be ahead of everyone else on this part. So I got a lot of, take that as a signal. The X-59 is a centerpiece of NASA's Quest mission, which seeks to solve one of the major barriers to supersonic flight over land by making sonic booms quieter. The X-59's first flight is expected to occur in 2025. Okay, so I don't know exactly when in 2025. Like I said, I'm just getting back into it. I'll find out when exactly it is. It's not open. It's not available there. I have some contacts, so no one's contacted me back. That is where we're at. It's a wonderful thing. A really wonderful thing that's happening. And here's the moon. Artemis. Now, what does Artemis mean? We're talking open source stuff. Oh, I'm on caps lock here. Artemis. The goddess of the hunt, the wilderness, wild animals, nature, vegetation, childbirth, and children. So Artemis is basically the dawn, the birth of the new age, of the wild. We're going to the new wilds. And the wilds now in Canada and America, who's ever been camping, it's no longer. If you got enough money and technology, you got these things for polar bears are a problem. They're a big problem. They actually are a real big problem. And up in the Arctic, they're the only animal left that actively hunts humans. It actively hunts. It smells them, and it goes after them. Us. Them. Us, I mean. It's very efficient. And so it's the last animal left. And we're about to be moving into the Arctic in mass. Greenland is an example. Trump is talking about Greenland because the technologies have been are a lot cheaper. The icebreakers have brought it there, and we're going to be able to manufacture in mass the things we need in the north. There's new technology about building on permafrost. Now, permafrost, you can't put a building on top of permafrost and keep it warm. It'll melt the permafrost, and then the building goes. It looks like Pisa, right? It looks like a tower made in Pisa. So they have these things. Maybe be able to put the picture up. But they have these things that are in the air. They're metal, and they have like these fins on them, and they have like a glycol type system, a chemical in it, but it's kind of the opposite. That pumps through it, and it just keeps the wind going, and it keeps it cool. So they freeze the ground. They keep the permafrost frozen underground. It's a whole big system that's being done. So we can build large buildings in the Arctic. We couldn't before. We just couldn't. We couldn't do it because the permafrost. We'd have to dig below the permafrost, and then there's problems that you have when you dig down. This way, they can actually build it, and it's like building on rock if you keep it frozen. And the systems, and apparently the system is has been working very well, and it's high technology mixed with 1880s technology. So, you know what I mean? It's a lot from column A and a lot from column B. Russia and China are not going to be able to copy it very easily, and it's being kept kind of. There's parts of it that are thing. The chips will help with this. The mass production of chips. And Asia doesn't have that. So we're another place. We will be in the Arctic, and large buildings and large facilities, not just like 2-story kind of huts, whatever, 3-story. I don't want to call them huts, but 2-story regular buildings is all you can do. 4-story, but now maybe high-rise and stuff like that could be coming in there, which we know is the most efficient way to build, especially when it's cold because heat rises. It kind of like works on its own systems. But these things can happen, and then the dredging and all these other ways of getting like the planes. When they first went up in the Arctic, to start a new town or mine or something in a new area, it has to be done with, first of all, you have planes. Planes got to airdrop like bulldozers. Like this is like military operation kind of stuff. They got to drop bulldozers down, and then they got to clear. So then the next planes can land to bring in enough supplies on a regular basis. And then when they got enough for the airport, then it's trudging out because there's not enough deep ports that you can't just like have a ship and it's not so easy. You can, and that's also a part of it. The ships go, and then they have small craft bringing stuff to shore. And that's another way of bringing stuff in as well. But it's very difficult, and it's a very big operation. Flight's easier. If the bulldozers and stuff like that don't blow up as they land, right? You know what I mean? So this is how do you have to create a town out of literally the wilderness is very similar to space in a lot of ways. But we're going there, and that's our wilderness now. We like if you're anywhere in Canada, there's no wilderness that we have left that's beyond someone who has a lot of money who goes to like the Mountain Equipment Co-op, buys enough gear, you can stop polar bears. You know, at least warn you when they're hunting you. These things are coming, and so as we go into the Arctic. It also helps us. It's leading us to the technologies that are going into space. There's a lot of similarities there. That wilderness technology we're gaining from space and vice versa, and the resources. The resources in the Arctic are for whatever one reason or another, they're more abundant up there. I don't know why that is, but they're more abundant. They don't got to clear the trees. So we're looking at moon shots. The moon. That's basically what I wanted to discuss today. I hope I can continue this part of the channel. We'll see. We'll see if how much I've seen a lot of people jumping in and out right away. So I'll always show you the three of us that are here or whatever, however many, I don't know. Can see it'll be about space or politics. On this channel, I want to, and eventually I'll split the channels once I can. But right now, it's just going to be a lot more. So if it's not what you're into, cool. Just read the titles. But off of that, X-59. I'm going to see if we can get any more information on the X-59 that's open source. X-59 snowflakes. Last week. Oh, we have something maybe in the last week. 500 documents from the last week. All right. Oh, we got some measurements. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. En anglais. No, qui. NASA will soon test measuring a unique sonic thumps, right? The soon test advancement made on the key tool for measuring the unique sonic thumps that its quiet supersonic X-59 research aircraft will make while flying. Okay, so it has the new technology. It's like a cone. It's a beautiful shaped cone, and this thing is being silly. The shock sensing probe is a cone-shaped air data probe developed by specific features to capture the unique shock waves of the X-59 will produce. Researchers at NASA Armstrong Flight Research Center in Edwards, California, developed two versions of the probe to collect precise pressure data during supersonic flight. The probe is optimized for near-field measurement, capturing shock waves that occur very close to where the X-59 will generate them. Okay, so it'll be like, The second shock sensing probe will measure the midfield collecting data at altitudes between 5,000 and 20,000 feet below the aircraft. Oh, that's cool. When the aircraft flies supersonic, it generates shock waves that travel through the surrounding air, producing loud sonic booms. The X-59 is designed to divert those shock waves, reducing the loud sonic booms to quieter sonic thumps. No booms, thumps. The X-59 is designed to divert those shock waves, reducing the loud sonic booms to quieter sonic thumps. During the test flights, the F-15B aircraft with shock sensing probe attached to its nose will fly with the X-59. Okay, so it's going to be the F-15 Bravo will be flying alongside it, near where the booms will be. So this is going to be a hard flight. They're going to be really good pilots. It's going to be really good piloting. With shock sensing probe attached to its nose and will fly with the X-59. The roughly 6-foot probe, it basically looks like a silver bullet. Will continuously collect thousands of pressure samples per second, capturing air pressure changes as it flies through the shock waves. Data from the sensors will be vital for validating computer models that predict the strength of the shock waves produced by the X-59, the centerpiece of Quest mission. Quote, a shock sensing probe acts as the truth source, comparing the predicted data with the real-world measurements. Mike Frederick, NASA's principal investigator for the probe. Oh. Sam. For near... This has been... Researchers will soon evaluate upgrades to the near-field shock sensing probe through test flights, where the probe mounted on the F-15B will collect data and by chasing a second F-15 during supersonic flight. The upgrades include having the probe's pressure transducers, devices that measure air pressure on the cone, such as 15 inches from the ports. Previous designs placed on those transducers nearly 12 feet away, delaying recording time and distorting measurements. Temperature sensitivity on previous designs also presented a challenge, causing fluctuations in accuracy with changing conditions. So in the cold, that's why in the warm time they can come after me. To solve this, the team has designed a heating system to maintain the pressure transducer at a consistent temperature during flight. So, yeah. That's what we got going on with the F-59 flight and was it Frederick? What's it, Sam thing? Is basically looking what is happening up, and